Assalamu alaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
Assalamu alaikum. How is everyone?
Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum.
Waalaikum salam.
Bhai, how are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine. What about you? Good to
Thank
see
you
you
so
guys.
much. Thank you for organizing it. Yes. You know, good. Thank you for organizing everything.
नहीं यार, it's a pleasure. It's an honor. And इंशाल्लाह आगे भी करते रहेंगे इसी तरह. बस ये कि अभी हमने 10 मिनट का ब्रेक डिक्लेयर किया हुआ है क्योंकि यहाँ एंड इस वक्त मगरिब का टाइम है. So we will inshallah start at 6:40, right?
Okay.
And hopefully by that time our role players will be here. Let's see who is. Mashallah, Peshawar is in full attendance, and Karachi, being Karachi, is not on time. So apologies for that, but I can't help it. I did my best.
No issue, sir.
आप हमें entertain करना थोड़ा सा एक educational session दे दें. Being PQD.
Yeah, educational session. Okay. किस चीज पे चाहिए आपको educational session?
हमें आप anything from you is good.
Sure. Okay. Let me think of something.
देखिए ये
DTM without hard work and how to become DTM without hard work and research.
I don't exactly like that, but okay. Let me start. Okay, first of all, there are two ways that you can become DTM. The first one is very easy, and it is by exploiting the loophole in pathways, which doesn't require any third-party verification. You can just click through all projects and consider them complete. You just need to be good friends with the VP Education, who will approve your pathway request. And if you have good equation with them, then you'll be a DTM in no time. And I'm sure that many people around the world are doing that. How am I so sure? Because 3 weeks ago, Karachi Toastmasters Club rose to #1 in terms of certifications. And only in the next 2 weeks, 2 more clubs added 20 plus certifications in 1 week. So I don't know whether they were holding back. Again, not to blame them for anything, but maybe they were holding back. They just filed them all at once. But it seems weird. Okay. The other way to become a DTM is to actually earn the DTM title. And trust me, you can become a DTM without doing any of the effort, but you won't feel yourself worthy of it. And that's the worst feeling. Nobody else will know whether you've done all the hard work or not. But your club members will know, your VP Education will know, and that's enough. So I suggest
and just can we ask questions?
Of course.
What if you are VP Education? Is there any?
Yeah, it helps. It definitely helps to be the VP Education. But okay.
It depends who is submitting projects. It depends who is submitting project.
No, actually, the way I assign projects is that I float the message for next 2 or 3 weeks, and then I make the roster public. And I always keep myself in standby. Not the first standby, but the second standby. So if one speaker withdraws, another speaker gets their place. If that withdraws, another third speaker gets their place. And even if those withdraw, only then I get a space. So that way, my name is never part of an initial roster, but more often than not, it ends up being part of the final roster. But people have the full audit trail that who had withdrawn at what point. So they cannot point a finger at me. But I will strongly suggest that as a VP Education, obviously, one should strive to assign slots to others rather than themselves. They should strive to actually encourage others to take the slots, but there's another angle to it. And I'm not just talking about VP Education, I'm talking about the entire executive committee. If the club members are not taking roles or speech slots, then it's the executive committee's duty to take the speech slots and the roles and to show them the way. So when you will take the roles, when you will announce your accomplishments in terms of level completions and pathway completions, then others will get motivated. And once others get motivated, once they really get into the rhythm of giving speeches, then trust me, they cannot stop. But it is our job to actually provide them with that rhythm. So that's all there is. So as VP Education, yes, if you really want to complete your pathways quickly, and if you want to, let's say, game the system, it is very easy for you. But you can make it difficult for yourself by making the roster public, which is what I did. So fingers crossed and touch wood. This is wood. Yeah. Nobody can blame me for hogging the slots as of today, at least not public. So yes, today I am because today I am one of the speakers because 3 speakers from KTC and 1 speaking slot from Peshawar actually withdrew. So that created a space for me. So that is how it is. Completing pathways and even completing projects with their full specs and with their full requirements is preferable because see, again, I will come to that. You can easily complete a project while not really sticking to the specs of the project, and even your evaluator may let you free that okay fine, there were some flaws in the project, but okay, you completed it, congratulations. But it will come back to haunt you. So when I was doing my first DTM, it was under the old syllabus, and no less than 4 or 5 times I was asked to repeat projects, publicly asked to repeat projects, telling me that your project did not fulfill the requirements. So, and when you're told that in front of the whole club, trust me, it's not a good feeling. But uh, I made sure that I repeated those projects because that's the only way. That's how you can actually do right by yourself and by other members.
Excellent.
So,
So one more question. One more question. It's the routine practice where the speakers opt for where the members opt for the roles, and we cannot, as an executive committee, we cannot assign roles. But somehow, some of our members, although they have their interest, but like don't come up. So can we assign roles? Like in this particular meeting, you have to opt for this role. In this particular meeting, you have to opt for this role. Is it allowed? Because as per the standards practices, it's generally said that you cannot assign role.
No, it is perfectly reasonable to do so, right? You're not exactly holding a gunpoint to anyone's head. If you are, I don't know about it, and I don't want to know about it. But you're not exactly forcing anyone, but by assigning role, you're giving them that last push towards taking a role. Even we have so many members who don't initially take up a role, but when they're assigned a role, they take it with open arms. So yeah, it's nothing new, it's nothing abnormal, and feel free to assign roles. That way, they will feel a responsibility too. That yes, we have been given this responsibility, and we need to fulfill it.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Good evening, Toastmasters, guests, and future Toastmasters. I, Ali Asher Anjum, being the sergeant at arms of Karachi Toastmaster Club, welcome you all in another exciting meeting of Karachi Toastmaster Club and the, the Toastmaster Club Peshawar. It is our joint meeting. Although, so this is our meeting number 899. We are just one meeting away from our 900th meeting. So without further delay, I would like to hand over the charge to the president. Over to you, president. Dtm
Toastmaster Kashif and Toastmaster.
Okay.
Anybody can.
So Toastmaster Kashif Sehgal, can you please?
Toastmaster Kashif is not here, I think.
Okay, we went offline then.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
That Toastmaster Kashif is here.
Okay, so over to you, Toastmaster Kashif Sagar.
Yes. Good evening and a very warm welcome to people from Karachi and Peshawar. I think today marks a historic meeting between two of these clubs. One being the star of Toastmasters in Pakistan, that is the Karachi Toastmasters Club, and one of the youngest clubs in Pakistan, CA Toastmasters Club Peshawar. I feel like a guest because the whole initiative of this meeting was taken up by Karachi Toastmasters Club. I'm sure today this meeting will bring these two clubs and individuals together, and it will connect them on a different level and will hopefully result in long-term partnership and friendships. Through Toastmasters personally, I have met many amazing people. So I feel Toastmasters not only gives you better public speaking skills, but also provides you an opportunity to connect with some amazing people. I am really looking forward to this meeting today. And as the very famous tagline go in Pakistan, from Khyber to Karachi, we are living up to that tagline. I look forward to today's meeting. Thank you, and over to Toastmasters of the day.
Toastmaster of the day कौन है? Shahid Khattab. He is online, but he's not active. I think.
They have connectivity.
Yeah.
There is.
Hello, this is Shahid Khattak, your Toastmaster of the day. A very good evening to all from Akhpal Peshawar to Apna Karachi, from Khyber to Mehran. Am I clear?
Yes, you are clear.
Yes, absolutely you are.
Okay. So this, by seeing the theme from Khyber to Karachi, it reminds me my journey was going for the very first time in 1999. It started 7 a.m. in Peshawar through Shalimar coach. It was an express through Shalimar bus and reached Karachi 2 p.m. the very next day. And when I landed at Karachi, it was all of a new world from Khyber to Karachi, the new culture, the new metropolitan city. So it's reinvented all my memories from the past. And I feel excited when we say the Toastmasters connect each other. And today's discussion, when I was having a chat with Talabin Hamid, and when I asked what is best about Karachi, and he says biryani, and I said, I've been there for 8 years in Karachi. So he says he'll take back his words. So this reminds me all those memorable moments while I was going through the way. It still reminds me the melodious music of Gulpana at the night with the dim lights when we were passing through the DG Khan and having 1 hour dinner break on those large charpais. It's equal to around 4 of us. When I in that charpai, it looked like a little kid is sitting there because it's 4 sides of ours. So with this meeting, it all me from civilization to culture to everything what can think of. And what I would like to share is, when I was having a discussion with someone, we usually divide Pakistan between the south and north. like Sindh and Balochistan and Punjab and KP and Islamabad. And that particular gentleman for that project divided Pakistan into two, West and East, like KP connected with Sindh and Punjab connected with Islamabad. So, sorry, KP with Balochistan and part of the Sindh and part of the Sindh, Balochistan, Punjab and Islamabad. So that's the way we are looking this particular meeting. So thank you very much, Talabin Hamid, for taking the initiatives. In this role, I'll brief you all. We have 7 speakers. The first one, our president of the club, Kashif Maqbool Sehgal, who is presenting Dynamic Leadership 1, Evaluation and Feedback 2, which will be evaluated by TM Noreen Fatma. The next speaker will be Muhammad Azhar, whose project is Innovative Planning 5. It's the economy, is the economy stupid, which will be evaluated by TM Hiba Rais Khan. Third speaker of the day is TM Kareem Meghani. Visionary Communication 3, Inspire Your Audience, which will be evaluated by TM Sajid Akhtar. The fourth speaker is TM Ghulam Qadir. His project is Dynamic Leadership 1, Researching and Presenting, to be evaluated by one from Peshawar. And who is that?
Sorry. I have volunteered to evaluate Toastmaster Ghulam Qadir, but if someone from CA Peshawar wants to evaluate him, most welcome.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And the fifth speaker is Latif Mansoor Ali. He'll be presenting his project is Presentation Mastery 3, Persuasive, Live It Your Way, which will be evaluated by TM Rusan. The sixth speaker is none other than Dtm Talabin Hamid, Motivational Strategies 3, Know Your Sense of Humor, I See Dead People, to be evaluated by someone from Peshawar. And the seventh, last but not the least, the speaker will be TM Shamam Khan. His project is Persuasive 3, Prepare for an Interview, the choice is yours, which will be evaluated by CM Najam Rizvi. So these are the 7 speeches for today, and we'll have the table topic session, table topic evaluation. Table topic session will be by TM Mudassir Zaid and evaluated by TM Imran Raza. Junior evaluator, we are kind enough to, we are grateful to Sayyid Umar Hayat, who consented to be general evaluator. Grammarian, Latif Ali. Vote Center, TM Saad Shoaib. Timer, Zishan Ali. Vote TM Ali Mansoor. And technical host, TM Saad. Thankful to Saad for all of these arrangements. And counter, Hiba Rais Khan. So with this prospect, with this connecting Khyber to Mehran from 8,600 meter icy and rocky and mighty to sandy beaches of Karachi and coastal life, I'll invite the first speaker of today, TM Kashif Sehgal. TM Kashif Sehgal, please.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Shahid Khadak. Am I visible and audible?
Yes, you are, Kashif. Let's just confirm whether Toastmaster Noreen Fatma is about to. Yeah, she has joined. So Toastmaster Noreen, please introduce the project.
Sure. Toastmaster Kashif Sehgal is going to deliver his project 2 from his project 2 in I think he's going to deliver it from, let me share, please wait a second. Today, Toastmaster Kashif Sehgal is going to deliver his second project from Dynamic Leadership Path. And this project title is Feedback and Evaluation. And the purpose of this project is to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback, and apply the feedback to a second speech. And today, and the time of the speech is 5 to 7 minutes. Over to you, Toastmaster Kashif Sehgal.
Thank you. This is about 5 years back. I was sitting in a hotel room in Tucson, Arizona, USA, and frantically going through the websites on how to apply for a passport. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters, about 5 years ago, I was in US attending an exhibition. And the way it was set up was they would set up this exhibition in a hotel room where they would convert the hotel rooms into mini exhibition places. I was there on a family business trip. And what a coincidence, the same very day, a friend of mine from Karachi who used to live in Peshawar came and visited me after about 10 years because he had left for Karachi and then he went to US. And that day was an exciting day because I was meeting up with a childhood friend. We were extremely happy and we were joking around. And in the middle of all this, when a customer would come in, we would greet him really well. We would joke with him, we would talk with him. And we, with most of those people who would come in, we would create a connection. So the day was not only good for business, it was a great day in making friendship. And among those people who came in, we connected with a lot of those people. But the day did not end there. We thought, since we have met after such a long time, we are going to continue celebrating our reunion. Since he was there for only a single day, we did not want to miss a single second. As Aerosmith says in Armageddon, I don't want to close my eyes. I don't want to fall asleep. So we thought we will celebrate throughout the day and also celebrate the night. So after we closed everything at about 7 p.m., we thought, let's go out and let's have a good dinner. And after that, we would go out and play pool and whatnot. So we went out on this 10th Street, which is a famous street in Tucson, Arizona, where all the eateries are and all fun places are. We went there and ate and we did everything that we could. And probably by the time we got home, it was 1 a.m. It was a night that was for one to remember because we had so much fun and we laughed and we talked about our previous adventures and the stupid, crazy things that you do with your friends when you're young. And I was having a great, great day and followed by a great night. We got home, we went to bed, and the next morning, when we got up, I checked for my passport. Because, you know, whenever you go out in a foreign country, you would like to carry your passport with you. And I checked frantically every single pocket, and I could not find my passport. And all those fun day and night I had, it turned into a horrible, horrible thing. And I thought, I shouldn't have done it. Was it worth it? My friend left at 12 and I was depressed, searching the internet from where to get another passport, how to apply for it. And to my worst of my scared, it was going to be an expensive exercise. And it was going to cost me a lot of money, and I would have to extend my stay in the USA. And I was thinking, why me? Why me? And as the day passed by, at 4 o'clock, someone walked in the door. He was a white American guy, and he tells me, "Mate, I've got something for you." And I was like, "What?" He said, "Your passport." And I said, "Where did you find it?" He said, "I found it on the 10th Street.
Sure.
Sometimes you feel that the whole world is against you. Nothing is going right. And everything and everyone in the whole universe is against you having a good time. But there were two lessons that I learned that day that I've kept with myself. The very first lesson that I learned is of karma, is of being nice to people, is of being friendly to people. If you're friendly to people, they connect with you, they like you, and somewhere or the other, the universe will give it back to you. Number two, more often than not in our lives, we get depressed if we're having a bad day. We start thinking that all the bad things are happening to us. We are not in the good books of certain things or certain people. But I remember that, fine, in your life, you are going to have good days and you're going to have bad days. And the life is going to be like that. But if you're having a bad day, just stay on, stay strong, and hope. And hopefully things will turn around. And if you're having a good day, just be thankful to the Almighty. So my fellow Toastmasters and guests, my lesson or my advice to you is, in life, I'm sure all of us go through tough times, tough situations where everything and everyone seems to be against you. Don't lose hope, because more often than not, things will work out. Thank you so much, and over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Kashif, for sharing your real time and real life story. It's enjoying it this while you were having fun with your friend, but at the same, you lost your passport and it was a miracle you got back. It reminds me our story when we were in Italy, and one of our friend, Dtm Shuja, forget his passport somewhere, and he and Dtm Safdar took a boat rushing to the particular, I think, communication office, and we got back. So that joy which we felt at the face of Shuja was something to see. Okay, so coming back to the from Khyber to Karachi, I'll share our visit when first time we traveled from Hyderabad to Umarkot. We stayed there, we enjoyed the hustling, bustling miles of their shops of bangles, enjoyed their biryani, and then all the way to Umarkot, where the fort where the King Akbar was born, and then to the third desert, where we played with the sand, etc. So this event is really reinventing all our memories, and at that particular moment, we went as a family, around 10 people with 3-4 cars to enjoy a family function, wedding function of one of our friends. And at the end of the event, we concluded that we enjoyed a lot other than our friend who got married. And in return, he says, you can't even think of what the joy of getting married is. Okay, so thank you very much. This now comes to the second speaker of today's event, Muhammad Azhar, who will be presenting Innovating Planning 5. It's the, okay, so the evaluator of the our speaker, Mohammad Azhar, is TM Hiba Rais Khan. Ms. Hiba, if you can discuss about the project of Mohammad Azhar. Over to you.
Thank you. Okay, it's TM Azhar, and he's doing his innovative planning, level 5, high performance leadership. The title of his speech is it is Economy Stupid. Time duration of the speech is 5 to 7 minutes, and there are two purpose statements, objectives of the speech. The first one is the purpose of this project is for the member to apply his or her leadership and planning knowledge to develop a project, plan, organize a guidance community, and implement the plan with the help of a team. And the second one is the purpose of the first speech is for the member to introduce his or her plan and vision. Over to you, TM Asghar.
It was 1996 when World Bank asked government of Pakistan for its expenditure and revenue for the year of 1995. In a pleasant surprise, Ministry of Finance responded IMF, World Bank well in time. But as bureaucratic norm, the request is also being sent to the State Bank of Pakistan and somewhere called the Bureau of Statistics. All three responded well in time with their requisite information. There was, however, a problem. All three of them sent a 3 different figure for the same expenditure. Predictably, it sparked a fury and invoked a strong response from international donor agencies. And that is when our economy was become the parable of mismanagement. All these institutions then forced government of Pakistan and its entities for a series of reforms to improve their financial position. After quarter centuries, this reform is still going on, including in all provinces. I happen to be the head of a unit where a component of the reform was supposed to be implemented. So the vision of our plan was to have a robust and systematic public finance management system for effective and efficient use of public resources and service delivery. You know what the public finance management is? Collecting the government money and then using it in a proper way. That is the good finance management. Well, the plan consists of 4 objectives. The objective number 1, to enhance revenue. More than 90% of our budget comes from the federal government. So we usually at the provincial level do not have an incentive to exploit our own revenue resources. That is one of the things we planned and evolved a mechanism to do it. Second one was fiscal management. We have the budget, but we don't know the exact amount of the budget, and we have only fund for the immediate utilization. We planned to control the budget through realistic planning, of course. The second was the reform of development budget. It was all about development expenditure. Our development expenditure was quite tentative. So we planned to fix our compass and then go on towards our target to improve the planning structure. The last one is improved management of fund per municipal committee. You know, this is something really leaves a bad taste in the mouth, but no one is beating an eyelid. It is unpardonable. We decided to have a plan for the public finance management at municipal committee level. Well, beside that, there are some cross-cutting themes. Regulatory framework is one of them. Our financial laws are merely warn the offender. It is just like a yellow card showing by a football referee. So we went to improve the laws. And before that, this is the use of technology. Well, today, if someone, a sweeper, retires from my hometown, Germany, he or she has to travel 300 kilometers to Quetta in order to get his pension book KDS. Now, technology is providing a glimpse of hope. So, computerization was our planned mantra, because now we all know that automation is taking care of virtually everything. So, our budget should not be an exempt. Well, we planned our initiatives, our targets, and sequence of events. But in the implementation phase, something fell down or fell short on working out, at least in certain areas. But that is the part of my lesson learned area, which will be my second speech in this very project of pathway next week, subjected to the availability of slot. Over to you.
Thank you, Dtm Azhar, for highlighting the stupidity of economy. We being economy students, we understand that how this public financial management work, and it will go on the same way. I also would have referred the economy under IMF or other donor agencies, which never grows. We need to focus on our core strengths, indigenous products, both I'll say from Khyber to Mehran, again connecting to the same. We have serenic valleys of Swat, where the water flows from there and travel all the way thousands of kilometers and without making use of it. We have emerald-rich Swat. We have rich Mamand Jansi. We have copper reserves. We have uranium. And it goes to Sindh, where dates, gardens are there, the mangoes, the oranges. When I was traveling, I'll go back again where we were traveling through bus. The bus was going at a speed of say 80 kilometer to 100 kilometer per hour, and the journey continued for half an hour to 40 minutes, and all around was the fruits, dates, including dates, and huge gardens. So we are naturally gifted. We need to focus on, and we pray that our economy grows the way we require. So both the regions, our KP, Sindh, are rich, where Karachi is the economic hub of our economy. I've been there for 8 years. Numerous and huge business transactions are there, but it requires focus. So thank you, TM Muhammad Azhar, for presentation on the economy. Invite Ghulam Qadir, who will be having their project Dynamic Leadership 1, researching and presenting, who will be evaluated someone from Peshawar. Who is evaluating?
No, actually, if there's no one, then I will evaluate. Otherwise, if there's someone volunteering, no worries.
Okay, so Talabin Hamid will be evaluating TM Ghulam Qadir. So over to you, Talabin Hamid, for his project.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the evening. Toastmaster Ghulam Qadir will be delivering his project, researching and presenting, which is the last project in the first level of his pathway. The purpose of this project is for the member to learn or review basic research methods and present a well-organized, well-researched speech on any topic. Toastmaster Ghulam Qadir is one of our eminent speakers and is very socially conscious. He is also, by profession, he is a banker, and he has a deep awareness of social issues in the society. So I'm sure that he will not disappoint. Uh, so his speech title is "This Must Stop." Toastmaster Ghulam Qadir, this must stop. This must stop. Toastmaster Ghulam Qadir. Over to you.
One fine day at Boat Basin, Karachi, a child was trying to eat some food. He was knocking at the window of a big Prado. So the Prado was parked at the Boat Basin Food Street. Sabji, I am very hungry. Please give me some food. Did I tell you one thing? If you knock one more time, I'm gonna slap you. But the poor child was very hungry. He couldn't stop his hunger. And he once again knocked on the Prado window. The man in the Prado came out in rage and his tyranny and hit the child twice on the face. The poor child started crying. The poor child could not do anything except cry. Nobody knew that the child has not eaten since last 2 days. There was nothing for the food at his home. His father died in an accident. His mother was a maid in one of the nearby bungalows, but lost her job due to COVID-19. So there was nothing there for them to eat at home. Everybody was watching, including myself, at the Boat Basin, but we couldn't do anything. Nobody had the courage to go and stop that man who came out in the rage. Everybody thought that if we intervene, the man who looked like a feudal lord will shoot us. Another incident happened at my place. It was a good Saturday morning. I was sitting in my television lounge and reading newspaper. Suddenly I saw a 13 to 14 years age girl wiping the floor. I got up from my seat and I went straight to my room and asked my wife, "This must stop. Do you know this comes under child labor?" She confronted me. "How can it stop? Her mother has been divorced by the father. Her mother and this girl are the only bread earners. She has 4 siblings to feed. This cannot stop." And there was a complete silence in the room. According to the Pakistan Bureau of Statistics, 30% of Pakistani population comprises of 15 years age and below. These are 68 million. 68 million children are below 15 years of age. Out of this 68 million, 23 million children do not attend school. 12 million children are doing child labor, and 1.2 million are begging on the street. This is not it. Every day, 8 to 9 children are reported for child abuse in Pakistan. And these are those which are reported. There are numerous cases which do not go reported. If the situation is not handled, I will tell you that our future will plunge into darkness. This must stop. And how we are going to stop it? We are going to join hands together and work towards the education of these children. Every one of us in this room and on the Zoom over there have a good standing in the society. If and only if we take the responsibility of at least one child,
Okay.
fund the education of at least one child, the child will have a bright future if well educated and if settled in the society. So what will happen if the child will get educated and settled in the society? Of course, the child will pay back to the society. And this process is a never-ending process. This will keep on going, and the child will educate another child, and that child will educate another child. So I'm very hopeful that as responsible citizens, we will take this responsibility and work towards the betterment of our society, of our children, and we'll make this country great nation again. Pakistan Zindabad. Thank you.
Thank you, TM Ghulam Qadir, for your wonderful speech and a good message to all of us to take care of the weak communities, the no one's kids, and make them responsible citizens of our society. We follow the same practice in Sawat and in Galiyat, where we are educating our kids on hospitality to make them great earners. It's a harsh fact of our society where kids are required, or they are great earners of their family. They have to support their family. But at the same, we need to support them, educate them, make them grow, and make them responsible citizens, and thereby a prosperous Pakistan. Okay, so coming back to the historical Karachi, Empress Market, Freyad Hall, and the historical Mahatta Palace, I don't think there are some events. When we were in Karachi, we attended a magical ghazal night by Jagjit Singh at that particular place. It's one of the historical moment I can ever attend. And there was the Dream World Resort at Superhighway where we witnessed a lot of concerts. But I think with the passage of time, Karachi has lost its charms and liveliness. But we hope it will regain its charm. Okay, so our next speaker is none other than Dtm Talabin Hamid. He is a teacher, a mentor, and public speaking. And today he'll be presenting his motivational strategies 3, Know Your Sense of Humor. I see dead people and we are some of us. And it's some of us. So it will be evaluated by a class to none other than TM Shujaul Mulk. Shuja, over to you if you can have introduction of Talabin Hamid's speech.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the evening, Shahid Khatak. Am I audible?
Yes.
Distinguished Toastmaster Talha bin Hamid is doing his motivational strategies 3, Know Your Sense of Humor. And behold, the speech title is I See Dead People. The duration of the speech will be 5 to 7 minutes. Distinguished Toastmaster Talha bin Hamid has earned his distinguished badge by doing diversified projects along his way. We look forward to a creepy, bone-chilling speech. Over to you, sir, distinguished Toastmaster Talha bin Hamid.
My phone rings. Oh, a UAE number. Must be a job offer. Hello, is this Mr. Talha bin Hamid speaking? Oh, yes, I am. Okay, your cousin Faiza will talk to you. Hey, Talha, how are you? We heard of our explosion on Muskin Chorangi. Are you alive? Duh, obviously. Kind of obvious, right? I answered the phone. Oh, okay, fine. Thank God. Goodbye. Fellow city dwellers, welcome to a world where people only call you when they think you're dead. A few months ago, my brother-in-law, who lives in Peshawar, came to visit to Karachi. And I took him on a city tour. Here is Safura Chaurangi. This is where we used to live, and this is where a bus was attacked by a suicide bomber, killing scores of students. Here is Karsaz, where in 2007 more than 100 people were killed in a bomb blast. Here is Numaish, where 50 clerics were killed in a suicide blast. Here is Golimar, you get the idea. And here is Azizabad, which is right next to 90 beep. And finally, we go on to Kimari and Malora. This area was poisoned by a poisonous gas for months and nobody knew why. My brother-in-law said, wow, that is so impressive. Because that's what you're supposed to say, right? And then we chanced upon another building, a beautiful building set amongst the gardens. And he said, what is this ethereal beauty? What is this building? And I said, of course, that's Quaid-e-Azam's mausoleum. And he said, okay, let me get this straight. The pride and joy of your city is basically a grave. I said, why is that surprising? Fortunately, Karachi is not just known for killings and death. It's also known for food, as my Toastmaster of the day elaborated so well earlier. Previously, there used to be just one food street in the city, Buns Road, but that was decades ago. Now you cannot walk a few hundred meters without finding a good restaurant or a whole food street. So we roamed around the city everywhere. We went to every street food cart. We went to every middle-class restaurant. We went to every posh eatery. We breakfasted out, we lunched out, we dined out, and we snacked out in between. My brother-in-law was terribly impressed. And he said, I want our last night in Karachi to be spectacular and memorable. And I said, fine, I've got just the trick for you. So we booked 2 seats in a swanky Clifton restaurant. The night was magical and we were sitting while trying to avoid the awkwardness that arises between you and your brother-in-law, because within 3 minutes you run out of things to talk about. But then something happened. A magical aroma entered our nostrils. It hinted of rich rice, exotic spices, saffron, juicy beef, and God knows what else. It wafted straight into our nose and it hypnotized us. We forgot that we were sitting at Karachi's best restaurant. We slowly got up and, like robots, started moving towards the aroma. The night was beautiful. The waves of the sea crashed gently to the right. Traffic swooshed gently from the left. Over our head, there were a billion stars, galaxies, pulsars, quasars, nebulas, and black holes. The beasts that pull everything inside them and leave nothing out there. But I bet none of those black holes could hold a candle to the black hole towards which we were being attracted. So we walked and walked and walked in a trance. We chanced upon a skyscraper, and behind that, we saw a UFO full of lights. full of neon garages. At least it appeared to be a UFO at first glance. It turned out it was something different. My brother-in-law asked, "Is this a wedding?" I said, "You'll find out." We went closer to the building. The building had elegant Eastern architecture. It was decorated like a Christmas ornament. People were hustling and bustling in and out. There were people dancing. There was folk music. And there was a strange sight. Some worshippers at one side were sitting like this. And my brother-in-law said, "This is not a wedding." And I said, "No, it's a funeral that has been going on since hundreds of years, because we were at, guess what? Abdullah Shah Ghazi's bazaar. And ladies and gentlemen, groups of people were clustered reverently around huge cauldrons containing Karachi's best biryani. And we saw 10 times more people eating the biryani than people actually paying their respects at the grave. We had our fill. Never had we tasted better biryani. And when we were all filled up, we found it difficult to get up. But then we walked out, got some fresh air. And my brother-in-law said, "Now it figures. The best food is at funerals. The second best food is at weddings. And that's why you Karachiites love death so much." Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, DTM Talabin Hamid. It reminds me again when I landed in Karachi and the red spots on the walls and in the roads. I asked my friend, those were the times when the Karachi was not having their good times, 99 around. So I said, "Oh, Karachi is so blooded." And they said, "No, it's yeah." And with the good name of Zahur Rajani and Mixed Patti, etc. So it's again reinventing our memory. And with this Darbar, Abdullah Shah Ghazi, when I was preparing for our final exams and they were having some party, so he said, "Shahid, join me for the party." And I said, "No." And 1872nd course of Abdullah Shah Ghazi. So it's going on. And from the food perspective, the biryani, halim, Karachi offers, and nehari. Oh, when first time we tried each and every famous nehari of Karachi, Javez Nehari, Sabri Nehari, Bans Road, you are having meeting at Beach Luxury Hotel, it would have been fun. It may be a humor for the day. If we had one side Karachi dishes, biryani, nehari, halim, gola kebab, and on the other, our chapli kebab, kabli pulao, and mutton Afghani tikka. So you can have your fun now. Okay, the speaker for the day is Dtm Shamam Khan, and evaluated by, she will be having their project, Persuasive Influence 3, prepare for an interview, the choice is yours. She'll be evaluated by TM Syed Najam Rizvi. Over to you, TM Syed Najam Rizvi, to have introduction of her project.
Thank you, Toastmaster DTM Shahid. It's a pleasure and honor to be at this historic meeting. I hope I am audible and visible.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. I've only been to Peshawar once, and that was only for a very brief period. And I had the, fortune of having dinner there at that famous bazaar, which they served a lot of barbecue or salted meat and all that stuff. So it was really a wonderful experience, but a very brief experience. Now today we have our last speaker, Toastmaster Shamam Khan, who is a very regular and versatile speaker. Not only a good speaker, she's also a very good organizer. She has served as chief judge, as contest chair in numerous contests. Today, she'll be giving her project from Persuasive Influence 3, which will be in the form of an interview. And she will be interviewed by Dtm Anika. The title of her speech or project is "The Choice is Yours." The purpose of this is basically to practice giving an interview. Obviously, we know that an interview is a very important communication skill that we should develop in. Otherwise, you can be a very good professional, you can be a very good ideal fit for a job, but unless you convey that in an interview, you will not get that position skill. So over to you, Toastmaster Shamam Khan.
Well, excuse me, Mr. Timer, please note that the project duration is slightly changed from the default. It's 9 to 12 minutes. Okay, Toastmaster Zishan, have you noted that?
I have. Yes, I have noted it.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tara.
Dtm Anika. Okay. So welcome to Tuesdays with Dtm Anika. The choice is yours. In this program, what we do is that we invite different politicians and we talk about their skills, their abilities, so that you get to know them in a better way, and then you can choose which one to go for when in the elections. And today we have a very special politician with us, for whom you all have been requesting for an interview. Guess who she is? A big name, a powerful name, none other than Toastmaster Shamam Khan. Ma'am, we are so grateful that you joined us in this interview. It was very, very, very kind of you to take time out from your busy schedule and join us for a question answer session regarding the upcoming elections and your campaign. And we would like to know more about you. And this is basically the purpose of our program, that the audience, the people who are watching you on screen, the people who are watching you online, they all want to know that what is your agenda and what is the difference that you are going to make once you become an MLA in the upcoming elections. So would you share with us what your slogan is? Thank you, Dtm Anika, and my slogan is, oh wow, be a pro and let's grow. An interesting one. Can you please explain it, what it means?
Thank you, Dtm Anika. This slogan is about to promote inclusivity, inculcate patience, and address segregation. Segregation, whether it is towards minority or towards genders. As an example, I would like to highlight Toastmasters' take on genders. You know, everywhere around the world, when there is a need to pinpoint a person, the word he is used. While I have noticed in Toastmasters manual projects, wherever they need to mention a person, they use her or she. And that has impressed me.
That's interesting. That's really interesting. So, ma'am, would you be comfortable if we start asking you questions directly from the audience who are watching you online and sending questions?
Yes, sure. Sure.
Okay, so ma'am, we have a person from Multan. Mr. Ahmed from Multan, he asks, how do you intend to work around this agenda? Can you please share with us what your plan of action would be?
Okay. Yeah, thank you for asking this question. Given the huge societal stake involved in education, I intend to reform the education in terms of societal development and head the Ministry of Education. I will not reinvent the wheel. There is already a task force for education by PM Imran Khan. I would just take them along towards these reforms.
Okay, ma'am. So you're intending to become an MNA and then you are choosing one of the most important ministries of the government, that is the education ministry. Can you share with us your expertise for this specific job or ministry, or you are just going for it like other politicians do because they just like some ministry?
Well, I have been an educationist for over a decade. Then a part of education sector reform assistance program in Pakistan that was right from Khyber to Karachi, including coastal lines of Balochistan, Fata, and Punjab. So, and of course, my personal qualification is around social sciences. So I am a social scientist as well. All these things, all these experiences around have given me the expertise of in-depth, on-ground knowledge of the gaps these sectors have and the, the reforms that may be introduced. So that has given me this expertise to work around education reforms.
Very interesting, ma'am. Very interesting. Yes, we have seen you working around for the last whole decade, and we really wish that you come into this place and do something on ground as well. So, ma'am, if you don't mind, we can start asking questions from the audience because there is a huge demand for questions from you. So, if you don't mind, we can ask somebody from the audience to ask questions from you.
Yes, sure, sure.
Okay, so if anybody from the audience who wants to ask question to politician Shamam Khan can directly ask her now. This is your opportunity.
So can I ask a question?
Okay, ma'am. Sir wants to ask you a question.
Yeah. Am I allowed to ask a question?
Sure, sure.
Yeah. So my question is that what made ma'am, what made you think about education reforms in terms of social development?
Well, thank you for asking this question. Personally, I am a compassionate human being, and I deeply am saddened by the fact that our society is encountering a lot of intolerance, and we don't seem to get out of this scenario. Secondly, my experience in social development, social sector, development sector, and education sector have made me see that we know of education only in two ways. One, the formal classroom settings, the other, under the tree on the ground informal settings. And both of these have goal of developing individuals for economy, for economic development. Little do we know that education is also about any experience that affects our thinking and actions. And little we have done on this. So I feel that there should be some reforms around it.
Thank you, ma'am. This was a very interesting answer. And as viewers, we all know that no TV program runs without the help of sponsors. So we have to go for a quick commercial break, but please stay tuned.
Excuse
Don't
me?
go away.
TM Anika, I wanted to ask TM Shamam one question. TM Shamam.
We will accommodate you right after this commercial break because the producer is asking me for a commercial break at the moment. So we will go for a quick commercial break and please stay tuned. We'll be right back right after a few seconds.
I think there's a
gonna make your voice heard. It's gonna eat what you deserve. It's gonna make a mark in this Toastmasters get today. We met there. Toastmasters get today. Toastmasters get today.
Okay, viewers, welcome back after the break. And now we would like to ask the audience that if anybody wants to ask any question from politician Shamam Khan, then they are most welcome to ask the question now.
Okay, TM Shamam, in one of your projects, you mentioned you would rather stay quiet on issues than to destroy your personal relationships. Not everyone in the government may be supportive to your slogan. How do you think you will counter the conflicts in educational reforms?
Dtm Anika, can you cut this question? Because
No,
a negative impression.
I cannot do this, ma'am. This is live. This is already on air. Please, we would love that if you answer this question.
All right, all right. Thank you for this question. My plan for improvement is there, and I have opted for persuasive influence at Toastmasters for the only reason to recover from this weakness of mine. Now I'm learning and practicing how to resolve conflicts, how to manage conflicts, and how to set up a mutual goal for everyone so that a thing is understood by all as a mutual goal. And that's what I will do in the Ministry of Education, getting along with other ministries and getting our reforms.
Thank you, ma'am, for answering this question. And we would love to have asked you a lot of questions, but we are running short of time. So just a last quick question, and that is, what are the major reforms that you tend to introduce in your term as an education minister?
Oh, well, yes. First, we need to understand that education is about facilitating the acquisition of morals, values, habits, and beliefs. I would quote my favorite American author, Napoleon Hill's lines here. A person is educated only if he gets everything that he wants without violating the rights of other people. So I think a major reform is required in the curriculum to practice the social tolerance. And I will be working around that kind of curriculum with other ministries.
Thank you, ma'am. We wish you all the best for the upcoming elections, and we hope to have you here again very soon. And with viewers, with this, our program is over. Don't forget to tune in next Wednesdays for another exciting episode of Wednesdays with DTM Anika. See you all next Wednesday. Bye-bye.
DTM Anika, I would like to thank you also and introduce you to my viewers and Toastmasters. DTM Anika had been the first DTM in Pakistan. As a female DTM, you can see her. Also, it's not that she's the DTM only. I have attended her officers club meeting, and the kind of information she has about the Toastmasters and the kind of dedication and honesty she wants to spread this education to other Toastmasters was inspiring for me. Thank you, DTM Anika, for interviewing me today. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you so much. That was very kind of you to say all this. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, DTM Anika. Nice to see you today, and TM Shamam for your excellent interviews. We look forward to see you as an education minister. I'm Shahid Khattak, Parvez Khattak being my relative. So I would request to give you ticket, and we, PTI, already joint government with Karachi-based political organizations. You have a good chance to become education minister. But be sure that we at KP teach our students Pashto and Sindhis teach them Sindhis. It should be, they should be taught Pashto and we should be taught Sindhi to have a good grasp on cultures and all other initiatives. And one more thing, you need to make this Toastmaster education and a mandatory and important subject in your career. Okay, thank you very much, TM Shamam, for having excellent presentation and excellent interviews. We earlier skipped our speaker, TM Karim Meghani, if he is around. TM Karim Meghani, if you are around.
Yeah, I'm here, yes.
Okay, so I'm thanking TM Karim Meghani for his speech. His project is Visionary Communication 3, Inspire Your Audience, and to be evaluated by TM Majid Akhtar. Majid, if you are around.
Yes, yes.
Okay, Majid, over to you to have introduction of TM Karim Meghani's project. Over to you.
All right. TM Karim Meghani, Visionary Communication 3, Inspire Your Audience. Purpose statement. The purpose of this project is for the member to practice writing and delivering a speech that inspires others. The purpose of the speech is for the member to inspire the audience. Time is 5 to 7 minutes. TM Karim Meghani.
I'm audible to everyone?
Yes, you are.
8 years ago, I returned from Syria after working for 4 years in Syria. And I was visiting some of my family. And when I visit one of my aunts, my mother's little sister, her 2 daughters I met. And my first question to these daughters were, Beta, what you are doing right now for your life? He said, Bhai, we are studying. I said, okay, what do you study? We are going to school and we are just finishing matriculate and we don't know what to do next. I said that, what is your vision? They said that, Bhai, we want to be a nurse and we want to work in a hospital where we can serve people. I said that, what are your marks usually in 9th and 10th grades? He said, usually we are not in a good school, as you know our financial situation. And we are in this school, but we are a very average student. I said, but you want to be a nurse. Did you make efforts to be a nurse? Did you study something? I said, no, just we want to become a nurse, but we don't know the resources. We know the house situation. I don't know my father, how they will afford this. So we just thought that, okay, let's finish 10th grade and then that's it. I said, Beta, this is not the way you think about your future. This is your future. And you are girls. You should plan something for yourself. I said, but Bhai, you know our situation. I talked to their mother. I said, Aunt, did you think about anything about their future? Said, Karim, we know the situation. It will be very difficult for the intermediate and then go through the other things. I said, but you can make some effort. Okay, this was the first day I met them. Next day at the community center, I met some individuals and I asked this question. This was bothering me. This situation was bothering me. And I met some community members. I said that I have 2 girls just finishing their matriculate and they want to be a nurse. First choice for these girls were Al Khan University Hospital, but I know their grades were not good. I again went back to them. I said that, I searched some options for you. I talked to some community members. There are 2 options, Al Khan University Hospitals, but Al Khan University Hospital nursing criteria, I don't think so you will able to qualify. He said, but Bhai, I think if we can get an admission in Al Khan Hospital as a nurse, maybe as a nursing course, maybe that will be good for us. I said, but your grades are not enough, and I think you don't speak good English. Your education, maybe you will be not pass the entry test. Are you ready to go to any other college? Yeah, one of my friends, she went to Liaquat because Liaquat have also a very good nursing program. I got a spark. I said, let's find some information about Liaquat. And I went to search information about Liaquat. And I said, what is the nursing criteria? How they can get the entry exams? I went everywhere in the community and I found an option for them. I talked to them. I said that, Liaquat is open their admission test, but now you can make your admission. I said, but you have to give a test. By how you will do it? Just do the test. Make sure you do the test properly. We need an 18th grade officer to sign our application. Don't worry, I will make sure that you will get your signature. One of the community members in one of the banks, I went there, I just took their signature, and that's it. I remember that day clearly, mornings. I think I need to reach at office at 9. I said 7 o'clock, be ready, we will go to Liaquat, then I will go to the office. I went there with them, I go to Liaquat, and that's it. They got the admission. Now, the question is how they will finance it, because the courts have some fees. Toastmaster of the day, dear Toastmasters, this was a little push I was trying to do with these two girls. And what was my vision? Why I was doing it? Because I cannot see these girls not having a vision what they want in their future. I went from here to there to each and every community member who can finance this two girls. And fortunately, I found one family who are aged and they want to finance girls' education in the community. And why they want to support girls' education? Because one of our community leaders, Sir Aga Khan III, he said that, if you have a boy and girl and you can afford education for one of them, then please educate the girl because she will raise the family as a mother. That's it. These two girls went to them and he financed it. Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah, in 2 years, they completed their nursing diploma. Not the bachelor's, but the nursing diploma. They entered to a system. That was most important for us. And they now, if I tell you where they are, both are married, Alhamdulillah. One of them worked in Aga Khan Hospital after completing his nursing diploma. And right now, she is working with Habib Group. And I'm so glad after 8 years reflecting on this particular subject and looking at these two girls, I didn't do anything. I just pushed it. I just pushed them to get educated. And Alhamdulillah, both are married. One have 2 beautiful daughters and they are raising their kids. Ladies and gentlemen, we have 48% literacy rate in Pakistan in girls. You have around yourself so many girls who are not completing their education after matriculate. Can you do a little push for me? I am sure if you will do a little push, one girl can get his or her, whoever you can just find, and they will get their diplomas. They will get their baccalaureate. And I hope for the best that inshallah, this 48% literacy, if one by one, every one of us do an effort, these girls will be educated. And remember this sentence. If these girls are educated, our communities, our societies will be educated because these are mothers and mothers raise kids. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, TM Karim Meghani. It was excellent message. Again, one of the sidelined area of our society to educate our females. So we really into this, and I would share. And I'm again grateful to Karachi for giving experience to Professor Dr. Rahman, who started heart surgeries while back from UK and started surgeries in Karachi, and he established his hospital in Peshawar that is called as Rahman Medical Institute. At Rahman Medical Institute, they started hiring nurses from Chitral, giving them education, giving them free accommodation, giving them per month 1,500 stipend, and making them ready to serve the community. With this MTI Act coming into action in the private sector hospitals in Peshawar, they are hiring from the public sector, private sector, and 50% of the nurses trained at that education institutes have started extended quality service. And this is one of the noble profession. So we appreciate all the hard work, and we request all of us to contribute to this sector and be a responsible citizen. Thank you, Kashif. Thank you, Karim Meghani. It's now the time for the last speech of the day, which was kept is our evaluator for the speech was not available. TM Urusa Kaval, are you available now?
Yes, Toastmaster of the day.
Okay, thank you. So it now comes to the last speech of the day. Our speaker is Latif Mansoor Ali. He'll be presenting his project, Presentation of Mastery 3, Persuasive Speaking, Live It Your Way. And to be welcomed by TM Urusa Kaval. Over to you, TM Urusa.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the day. So Toastmaster Latif will be presenting his speech, Live It Your Way, and the purpose statement of his speech is to understand the types of persuasive speeches and deliver a persuasive speech at a club meeting. The speech length is 5 to 7 minutes. We all know he belonged in a foreign country, but pleased us with all the speeches that he has given us. So over to you.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, you're audible.
Yes, you are.
Next time, when we fail, first time we hear this. Next time, do the better way. Try to make this mistake comes as a benefit for you. Everybody motivates us, supports us. They stand by us. But where anybody cannot understand how deep we are wounded, do we have a courage to stand and deliver again? Live it your way. Because sometimes when we fail, we think to do different things in a different way. Though we fail again, but that was a new experience. Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I have failed in all of my careers. Day in, day out, I have been known as a failure. How deep it was wounded, it's just in my heart. The first one, I went to propose my love. This proposal was like a 50-50. Almost 80% I was sure that she will reject. So I took my friend with me and I said, brother, if she says no, you are there to support me. Sure, boss, anything for you. That was his reply. I called her. Many times we know She said no. To my extent, I just had to, I have my shoulder cushion with me, so I just have to rest my head over him. This was the easiest way on myself because I was prepared for that failure. But the opportunity for my friend was, come on, let's have roasted chicken. Let's celebrate this failure. That time I realized, even though if I fail, there is an option to do a party, to celebrate. Smile for the camera. This was given to me 26 years before. It was my family business. But I was not aware the prospects of it, how much money it can give, or where this industry will take us. I didn't pay much interest to this. I wanted to be rich. I wanted to have a house, a luxury living. I wanted to study because all of my fellow friends were good education. They are in a very good position right now also. One of my friends, I said, I love to play cricket. Do you suggest I should play cricket or I should be with my studies with you all? He said, I think you should study. I was excited that why he's asking me to come into his group of education. So I asked him, have you ever seen my cricket? Have you ever seen my way of marks and everything? I'm not that good in education. He said, yes, I've seen you playing cricket and you play even worse than your education. So better start studying. This failure was not a failure for me because yes, I did not attempt well. Friends, there are many people who want to be a sportsman, who want to be a singer, who wanted to be an artist, who wanted to be a musician. Why not? Live your way. Give some effort to make that happen for you. Maybe you are the next superstar of the generation. Life is too short. If I am going to ask each and every person around to help me and guide me, they can only tell me according to their experience. But if I want something so badly, can't I put a little more effort and just be on what I want to be? If now I hold a camera with some of my techniques with modification of arts, is it difficult for me to make my name in graphic designing or filmmaking? How easy it is. But if I go to a grassroots level, if I ask with other people of all their failures, I'm sure I will be asked to leave this and do whatever I'm doing right now. Friends, life has a lot of troubles. Life will give you a lot of challenges. Life will come across and ask you to leave whatever you like. But trust me, you, me, and everyone else has a story. We just have to write it well. We just have to reinvent and live our way because that is our life. Toastmaster of the day. Thank you.
Thank you very much, TM Latif, for an excellent. We need to learn from our failure and we need to celebrate each and every moment of our life. That reminds us when we were having our exams, chartered accountancy exams, and we most of the time we fail, and we celebrated a number of times at each and every location like Boat Basin, Buns Road, every time. Let's have fun. Everyone should live their life, because each one is having different time zone. Someone becomes CEO at the age of 40, and he departs at the age of 55 and 60. And someone becomes CEO at the age of 60, and he lives life above 80. So each one of us will have our own time zone, and we have to live our life happily for us, for our family members, and for our loved ones. That was the last presentation of today. Now we are entering into an session of every Toastmaster meeting, which is table topic session. Our table topic master for today is Dtm Mudassir Zaib. Dtm Mudassir, over to you for the table topic session.
Toastmaster Shahid, please ask for votes as well. Ask for timer support and votes. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So timer report, please, and votes. I think you will be sharing the screen for voting and something.
Yes, yes. Our Toastmaster Saad will be sharing it, but we need to know if everyone was qualified or whether anyone was disqualified.
Okay, all right. So Dtm Zishan was kind enough to opt for the role of timer for today. Dtm
Thank you very
Zishan,
much.
if you can, you present your timer report, please.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Shahid. Well, the first speech was by Dtm Mukashif Sehgal, and he took 7 minutes and 10 seconds, and which is within the period of grace period of 30 seconds. So Mr. Kashif Sehgal had qualified. The second speech was by Dtm Muhammad Asghar, and Muhammad Asghar took 5 minutes and 38 seconds, so he has also qualified. Then the third speech was by Dtm Ghulam Qadir. He took 6 minutes and 2 seconds, so he has also qualified. The fourth speech was by Dtm Mutalha, and he used 7 minutes and 9 seconds, which is within the grace period of 30 seconds. So Dtm Mutalha has also qualified. Then the fifth was Dtm Shamam Khan, and her time was 11 minutes and 54 seconds, and as her project was from 9 to 12 minutes, so she has also qualified. Then the sixth speech was by Dtm Kareem, and he took 8 minutes. So basically he has exceeded the grace period of 30 seconds, so he has not qualified. And the last speech was by Dtm Latif, and he took 6 minutes and 15 seconds, so he has also qualified. So only Mr. Dtm Kareem has not qualified because of he was over by 1 minute. And thank you very much. Back to you, Toastmaster Shahid.
Thank you for telling the results like CA results. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Zishan, for the timer report. Zishan is one of the active participant of our club. He is our senior chartered accountant, and he is also serving his CP membership, our CA Toastmaster Club. He is one of the pioneer members. Thank you, Zishan, for the timer report. Dtm Tala, if you can have voting now.
Yes, it has been floated in the Zoom chat box, and I'll also float it in the WhatsApp group.
So we can have our table topic session in the meantime.
Yes.
All right. Exactly. Okay. So the voting is open, and everyone should vote. Okay. The voting is open. We'll be having table topic session, and each one of us is requested to vote for the best presenter of the day. Thank you. It's now time of table topic session. Dtm Mudassir Zaib is the table topic master for the day. Mudassir, over to you for the table topic session.
Thank you, Shahid Saab. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Good evening to fellow Toastmasters and guests. Today I'm your table topic master. My name is Engineer Mudassir Zaid Khan. And before starting on the table topics, I must elaborate what table topics actually are. So table topics is a session which helps members practice the art of improvisation and also helps us think on our feet. This helps us develop four vital communication skills like listening, thinking, organizing, and delivering. The table topic which I have prepared for you will hopefully help all of us become better at improvisation. Since we at Toastmasters try and provide a speaking opportunity to maximum audience members, this session is not restricted to members alone. Even the guests can participate. So I hope everyone gives this a shot, and I may randomly call anyone to participate, or you can volunteer as well. I must also request the timer to call out the timing guidelines and the amended one, because I want maximum participation in it since we have shortage of time. So I would like to suggest that we must reduce the time to 1 minute per member, and disqualification will be on 1:15 or 1:30. So the suggestion is there. The timer, please tell me, is it okay with it?
Well, normally the time limit is 2 minutes, 1 to 2 minutes. So if you want to reduce it, that will not. Sir, please.
Okay.
Actually, I had made the suggestion to have more speakers since we have a shortage of. So that's why, and that's the only reason. So maybe we can have the green. We can skip the green light. We can have the yellow light at maybe 50 seconds, and red light at 1 minute, and disqualification at 1 minute 30 seconds. So that way we can have more speakers from both cities.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Zishan Saab. Let's begin. I must request the organizer that I want to share the slides, because it will help members to get clear on the questions.
Okay. Okay, wait. Now you can.
So everybody sees it?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. My first question will be from TM Usman. Do you hear me, Usman?
Yes.
Okay. The question is a bit funny, but it's a good one. You take a sick leave for a game and your boss shows up at the stadium. I repeat, you take a sick leave for a game and your boss shows up at the meeting. Over to you, Usman.
Sure. Thank you, Dtm Title, and good evening to Toastmasters and guests. So I take a sick leave for a game, and my boss shows up at the stadium. So I did had a similar experience with my dad. So I told him that I am going to somewhere, and I usually do this like sometimes, and I do like say I told him that I going somewhere, and but I was lying, and that's where. Sorry, I'm just making it up.
Thank you. Yeah, carry on.
Okay. You have to see your doctor already your doctor called you and is saying that he was in. Okay, I think that's it. I can speak right now.
Thank you, Usman. I appreciate your answer. Now, my second question will be from Miss Samita. Miss Samita, do you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Thank you. So here you go. It is not the strongest of species that survives, nor the most intelligent. It is the one most adaptable to change. I repeat, it is not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the more intelligent. It is the one most adaptable to change. Over to you, Samita.
It's my first time. Good evening, everyone. I've never attended such Toastmasters training. It's first time, so I try to speak. It is not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent. It is the one most adaptable to change. That means mostly we think that the one who is brave, one who is physically strong, or one who is very intelligent and sharp that survives longer than the one who is physically weak or who is not that much intelligent. We mostly think of that, but that's not the fact. The actual fact is the one who becomes more successful and survives more than the previous one as the one who is easily changes, easily adapts the changes and is adaptable to the new environment, is flexible to it. So that one survives.
Thank you, Samita. Though we were not listening you well, but it was good. So my next question will be from Mr. Hussain. I am audible. Do you hear me, Mr. Hussain?
Yes, yes. Yes, yes.
Okay, here you go. You are the Toastmaster to a meeting, and on the last day, all speakers back out, which usually happens. You are the Toastmasters of the day of the meeting, and on the last day, all speakers back out. So you have to devise your strategy. Over to you, Hussain.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I would want to share the incident which I faced in last meeting at CA Toastmaster. It was my first time I went there, and on the way I was really happy. I was on the cloud nine, and I was feeling a bit hesitation. But as I entered at the building of CA, so my teacher, my mentor, he supported me and he gave me some instruction. But as I entered at the room, so we came to know that that session was cancelled because some one of members, the father of one member was died, and at the same time they cancelled the meeting. So I all my wishes was spoiled at the spot. That's so.
Well, at least you should all appreciate by raising your hand, because I want my session to be more cheered up. So thank you. Now my next question will be from Dtm Farhana. Dtm Farhana, do you hear me? Dtm Farhana, do you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So here you go with your question. How would you convince someone to join our Toastmasters Club? I repeat, how would you convince someone to join our Toastmasters Club? Over to you, Ms. Farhana.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. In the name of Allah who is Rahman and Rahim, today my topic is how would you convince someone to join our Toastmaster Club? Okay, that's good. Yeah, before coming here, my teacher said to me a lot that go and join us, join us. I said, no, I can't join you because I don't have ability to speak in front of the people. But by our sir always says to us, he made us active, he made us activate with other people, and he gives us the opportunity that speak here, you can speak here, you can speak over there as well. So just do hard work and just show over there yourself. But I always said that no, I don't have ability. But last time I went to his deliberately, he brought us and he said, no, come, come. Always he said, he used to bring my children as well. I have 3 daughters. He used to bring over there, and he said to me that you also come. But I said no, I don't have opportunity. I can't do like this. But once I went over there and I spoke. And now I always say to my children that go over there, and I also said to my all friends that go over there and just kill your hesitation.
Thank you, Ms. Farhana. It was a very convincing answer. And I, being the member of Toastmasters from the last 2 years, I was looking for the ways how to convince people to join us for their own future. So thank you so much for elaborating it. So my next question will be from our very interesting and very participating type of Toastmaster, Mr. Shujaul Mulk. He is our Vice President Public Relations as well at CA Toastmasters Club. And I will like to ask him the most complicated question which he like to answer. So here you go with your question. You are in a remote area at around 10 p.m. with no cellular connectivity, and you are running low on fuel in your car. I repeat, you are in a remote area at around 10 p.m. with no cellular connectivity, and you are running low on fuel in your car. Imagine you are in Deer. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mudassir Zaid. No cellular connectivity is a blessing sometimes. But obviously, when it is 10 p.m. and you are in a notorious area of the city, you are bound to, get a little, all the creeps and all the cold and all the stupid thoughts running in your mind. What I do is to not lose my cool, and like you said, I'm running low on the fuel. The first thing that I do is to probably find a nearest fuel pump, or ask someone for help, or maybe like ask stop some taxi and ask for any help to take me to a nearest fuel pump. But no, the no cellular connectivity would probably not, like it would not bring fears. I tried to find some near fuel pump and refuel, and go to my wife and present a good explanation for being very late, which is a very difficult thing. Over to you. Toastmaster Mudassir, you're mute.
Hello, do you hear me now?
Yes.
Thank you, TM Shuja. Very interesting, as expected. So I will move on to the next guest, I must say, or it's a member from Karachi. Mr. Umar Hayat, do you hear me? TM Umar Hayat, do you hear
Yes,
me?
yeah. I'm here, yes.
You look awesome. Turn on your video. Okay, so my question for you is, what's your view on the idea of failing early in life? Do you think it helps? What's your view on the idea of failing in life? Do you think it helps?
So, hello, Toastmasters and guests. This is a very important question because often we hear that failure is good. I think we should divide this into two. Failure is good depending on how surmountable it is. So if you fail early in life, it usually results in one of two things. If it is a small failure, or if it is even a big failure that you can overcome with the help of your surroundings, with the help of your parents or your schools, let's say, then it can be a tremendously positive thing. However, if you have a failure which you cannot surmount, then it tends to make people myopic in the long term. It can lead to things like low self-esteem and a more pessimistic view. I think it's important whenever failure is being considered that early in life a person has strong support so that they can fail and come back and learn in the process. Thank you.
Thank you, Umayyad. It was an interesting answer. So, since I feel that both the clubs relate mostly to the chartered accountants, but I want answer to this question, and I will throw it to the whole participants. Whoever wants to answer can raise his hand. The question is, what makes modern art modern? Anybody wants to answer? The first rose hand will answer it. What makes modern art modern? Anybody, or I select by myself? DM Braham Mehmet, do you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. The question for you is, what makes modern art modern? You have to answer it in a technical
What
way.
makes modern art modern? Well, that is a question for the modern person. You know, I'm not modern at all. I'm totally ancient. I just arrived in a suit today because somebody along the way gave me a suit to wear so that I would come to your meeting. But I have no idea about modern things. You know, I'm from the time where, you know, things were slow and a painting took like 2 or 3 years to make. I hear modern art is take a canvas and you just throw paint at it, and whatever happens is an interpretation of your feelings and your thoughts that have been conditioned from the environment. And then you say, pretending, so nice, isn't it? Look at this color here, and look at it. I see a girl over there. There's a moon, and somebody says, no. There's like a mountain over there. What do you see? So that's called modern art. It's an interpretation, right? And it's just totally nonsense. Back to you.
Thank you, Braham. I want everybody to unmute your mics and clap together for Braham. So that's all with the Toast Table Topic Masters. And I hope you all enjoyed the question, and forgive me for anything tough. Thank you so much, and over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Mr. Dtm.
Thank you, Dtm Mudassir, for excellent session, the table topic session, and it's really grateful you make the people clap for yourself. So wonderful. Thank you very much for posting excellent questions and making the participants involved. We are running short of time, so I'll be a bit quick. The next session is general evaluation, and our general evaluator for today is TM Sayyid Umar Hayat. So I'm handing over to Umar Hayat for general evaluation. Please complete your voting. The form has already been shared, and the results will be announced later. So over to you, TM Hayat, please.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Hello, Toastmasters and guests. Welcome to the most important part of the meeting, which is evaluation. So in the table topics session, a question was posed to me, is failure in early life good? And I don't really know about that, but I can tell you that failure in Toastmasters is good. Because here is a unique environment. You can fail and learn and come back and improve. And evaluation is what allows you to do that. So now let me give you the structure of our evaluations section. We will first have evaluations of our prepared speeches. Then we'll have evaluation of the table topic speeches. Then we will take reports from the role holders. And in the end, I will give my evaluation of the entire session. So without further ado, let me introduce our first evaluator. That is Toastmaster Noreen, who will be evaluating Toastmaster Kashif. Over to you, Toastmaster Noreen.
Thank you so much, Mr. Journal Evaluator. Fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests, Assalamu alaikum. Today, I will be evaluating the speech delivered by our very seasoned Toastmaster Kashif Sehgal. Wow, it was a very inspirational speech for all of us because at the end, it gave us two important lessons. A very, very important and we can say positive lessons for us. And these two lessons were, don't lose hope. Don't lose hope. Whatever situation you face in your life, you have to stay positive and you keep yourself alive and you don't need to lose hope. And the second one is always believe in karma. If you have done good in your life, definitely good or better will come to you. And it was a very well structured speech with great content. It has all the three essential components for an effective speech. A catchy opening with his own personal story, followed by the further illustration of the story, and it concluded with very important key forward messages. During the speech, I found Toastmaster Kashif very confident. He used his open body language and he effectively engaged the audience with his eye contact. However, there is always room for improvement. During his speech, at some points, I found that he faced some connectivity issue, and because of this issue, I was unable to listen some parts of the speech. So I suggest him that for his future online speeches, please make sure that he has good 4G connectivity issue, so that it will be easier for his evaluator for noting the evaluation points. And also I found him monotonous during the whole speech. I suggest him that for future speeches, he should add some voice modulations so that it could add more flavor in his speech. Like when he said, he asked from his friend who he bought his passport, he could say, "From where did you bought my passport?" And then his friend replied with a smile, "I bought it from that 7th Street." So these voice modulations could add more flavor in the speech. Last but not the least, fellow Toastmasters, always remember that facial expressions give power to the message we want to share with the audience. And if our facial expressions are inclined with the emotions we are sharing with the audience, it could help us in reaching our audience to a great level. And I found a very serious face of Toastmaster Kashyap Segal throughout his speech. I advise or suggest him to work on his facial expressions for his future projects. Overall, it was a great speech with great content, with great message, only with little improvements of facial expressions and voice modulations. I want to listen more from his I want to listen more from him, from his future projects, and wish him great luck. Over to you, Mr. Journal Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Noreen. Our next evaluator is Toastmaster Hiba, and she will be evaluating Toastmaster Asghar. That's over to you, Toastmaster Hiba.
Thank you, TM Umar. TM Asghar, you spoke on a topic. You spoke on a topic which shed light on our country's economy. In my opinion, our economy has always been facing a lot of turmoils, political pressures from superpowers, turbulences of all sorts. But no matter what, our economy has withstand all sorts of menace happening around us. What I liked about your speech was you were confident and had good clarity during the time you spoke. You also had constructed the speech well with interesting facts and figures. However, you could have quoted the sources from where you had taken the facts and figures, and the audience, I thought, the audience were well aware about what you were speaking and their needs were met. However, like every other speech, there were some areas of improvement which I found in your speech, which I found while you were speaking. Firstly, I thought you lacked vocal variety, and you could have, increased your tone and decreased it in some parts to make it more interesting, because the topic can become a bit monotonous. And also, a vocal variety brings about a certain depth and interest to the audience. It engages the attention of the audience. And secondly, I thought you lacked eye contact. I could not see you looking at the camera. You constantly facing the physical audience, and I could not see you looking at the camera. Not hardly, maybe a few times. Also, you did not cover the speaking area properly, and you could have been a bit more flexible. You were like this, and you could have been a bit more flexible, covering the speaking area from one place to another. And also, I thought you could have been a bit more flexible with your body and had more gestures, hand gestures, as well as body gestures. And overall, it was a good effort. And by incorporating the elements that we learned in Toastmasters in your next project, you definitely will improve overall as a speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hiba. Our next evaluator is Toastmaster Majid, and he will be evaluating Toastmaster Kareem Meghani. So, over to you, Toastmaster Majid.
All right. TM Kareem Meghani, Visionary Communication 3, inspire your audience. Well, overall, a fantastic project, nicely delivered, amazing vocal variety, amazing vocal skills as a speaker. There are certain points which I would like to share as a job of an evaluator. You started and jumped directly into a story. You shared a dialogue regarding the future goals. You sounded and you appeared very, very confident as a speaker when you were sharing the dialogue. Your talk was really engaging right from the beginning till the very end. I must say your eye contact was good because you were looking directly in the eye of camera. Your speech was absolutely synchronized with the title of your project, which is Visionary Communication. You did manage to inspire us all through your content and in particular with your speech delivery. I, as an evaluator, noticed the tone of a leader when you were sharing the dialogue. It really sounded like as if a leader is helping out others to set vision for their life. There was a message of courage in your speech. There was a message of not giving up in your speech. You sounded really confident. However, some flavor of voice modulation would have added further colors in your speech delivery. You were positioned little on the right side of the screen. Had you have positioned yourself in the center of the screen, that would have been more convenient for the audience to, look at you when you were delivering your speech. There are a couple of points which I've in fact noted when we are, delivering these projects. We are actually trying to improve. So the couple of points for the evaluators were: the speaker should be aware of audience response and adapt his speech as needed. So what I noted was this was actually a one-sided communication. So, but from this point, what I gauge is that the speaker was required to make it little interactive, because the subsequent reading point is, if the member appears to be talking at the audience instead of interacting with them, then this was actually required from the speaker. So maybe in the coming projects, when we deliver or when you deliver the project, so we can actually take care of these various requirements which are given to us as a speaker, then we will we'll be more getting the improvements from these prepared assignments. You excelled at preparing the story content of your speech. You may want to work on meticulous compliance of project requirements. To challenge yourself, carry on with the projects and keep shining. Congratulations for your project.
Thank you, Toastmaster Majid. Our next evaluator is Dtm Talha, and he will be evaluating Toastmaster Ghulam Qadir. Over to you, Dtm Talha.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator. Toastmaster Ghulam Qadir, have you ever had a cappuccino? What's the secret behind a cappuccino? It has a beautiful foam on the top, bitter coffee in the middle, and sugar at the bottom. And don't we all know that sugar is the only part we really like, but we slog through the other parts to get to that sugar. So your speech was not like a cappuccino. It was like a shot of espresso, black through and through. Maybe if you had sprinkled just a little bit of humor, which you had the perfect opportunity to do in the start when you were miming, driving, and hearing the knock. So maybe you could have exaggerated your gestures a little bit, like we usually do. You could have added some humor by actually dramatizing that the beggar child approaches you again and again, and you grow increasingly irate and then shoo them away. So that was a good opportunity. Other than that, your topic was researching and presenting, so maybe this tip to balance out the speech may be taken as a spirit of in the spirit of improvement, because you fulfilled the objects of the project gloriously. You started with a very good embellishment which grabbed all our attention. You provided a very clear call to action, which is often missing in such speeches. So congratulations. And above all, you showed emotion and sincerity in your speech, which is thoroughly appreciated. Some improvement areas, first of all, as I pointed out, you were earnest and serious and often bitter, like a sort of espresso. This must stop. You need to lighten up a little bit during your delivery. Your gestures and movements were just a little bit restricted, at least that's what I noticed. Maybe because of the limitations of the screen, you felt the compulsion to stay within the camera screen. So understandable, but maybe since we are on a physical stage after all, so at least the gestures can be expansive, right? Your gestures also lacked variety. In order to make it competitive speech, you have to introduce a variety of gestures and not just a few limited gestures. The one major improvement area that I found in your speech was that while there was a call to action, to me at least, the call to action was quite vague, because realistically, not many of us are likely to take a kid under our wing. We have all sorts of social apprehensions against that. So maybe you could have provided something more clear-cut and something easier that, okay, fine, you can personally take care of the education of a child. Failing that, you can perhaps donate to an organization that does so. So again, you could have provided a little bit of a stepping path towards the ultimate goal. But overall, great speech, great sincerity, just a little bit of spice missing. And congrats on fulfilling the objectives of your project. Over to you, General Secretary.
Thank you, DTM Talha. Our next evaluator is Toastmaster Rusa, and she will be evaluating Toastmaster Latif. Over to you, Toastmaster Rusa.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator. Toastmaster Latif, today I need to know who wrote your speech. Today, your speech was, I would say, a novelist's dream, speckled with sentences that sank into my consciousness like that setting sun, that has abundant light. It shows everyone a path anyone wants to walk on. A party, even if we fail, next time, can't I put a little more effort and be what I want to be? And the last that I really loved, we just have to write our own story well. I must say your content was very, very well written and very well divided as well. You divided your whole story into your whole content into 3 stories that were totally relatable to anyone in this meeting. Photography, sports, education, and proposing all are themes that are easily relatable. What I missed in your story were transitions from one theme to the other. They were kind of abrupt. Maybe from going from photography to sports, you could have added some story or a little story that could have acted as the transition. You were very coordinated in your gestures. You were very coordinated in your movements. So there was nothing wrong or lacking in there, except for the transitions. Was I persuaded to write my story according to how you said? Bet I was. Your objectives of the speech were accomplished. Very well done. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rusa. Our next evaluator is Toastmaster Shujaul Mulk, and he will be evaluating DTM Talha, over to you, Toastmaster Shujal Mulk.
Thank you, Toastmaster Umar Hayat. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yes, you are.
Distinguished Toastmaster Talha bin Hamid is doing his project Know Your Sense of Humor, and he sees dead people. The audience hears the speech title, I See Dead People, and then it is exactly like when the indicators of the car are blinking right and the car takes a sharp left. Wow, an absolute wow. You engaged the audience right away by narrating the cousin story. Then you went on narrating and connecting other stories to the title of your speech. The Golimar Mohalla, the street, was awesome. Connecting I See Dead People to Golimar, it's a brilliant idea. The idea of introducing your innocent brother-in-law visiting you, Karachi, was a clever one as well. It gives you, the speaker, a chance to talk about many things in Karachi a newcomer would be interested in. You have combined terror, deaths, bomb, blast with humor. A job well done. I really appreciated the choice of words when you were talking about and describing food. Aroma, tantalizing. Seriously, it made my stomach rumbling for food. Your body language complemented your speech. Walking around, and you gestured with your hands, walking around. A good use of the stage. The audience listened to you and your tone hit the crest and the truck. So there was no monotony at all. A humor mixed with satire, a job well done. You actually covered and touched upon a lot of social issues, mazars, deaths, food, and you ended your speech with a powerful punchline and a powerful message. The only suggestions I have is probably about the title of the speech. It could have been, I see lively, resilient people instead of I see dead people. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Umar Hayat.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shujal Mulk. Our last evaluator is Toastmasters Syed Najm Rizvi, and he will be evaluating Toastmaster Shamam Khan. Over to you, Toastmaster Najm.
Thank you, General Evaluator Omar Hayat. It was a pleasure to evaluate Toastmaster Shamam. She gave her a speech from the persuasive influence path. Toastmaster Shamam delivered a project which was according to her strengths. She structured the project in a way that, as being an educationist and with a vast experience of education, she developed the project in a way that was to her strength, which is a good idea. I like the way the speech was organized and the message delivered in very clear language. You showed good poise and were totally comfortable in delivering that interview, playing a role of a politician. The best part of the speech I liked was the way you handled conflict, how you would handle conflict with diverse views on education, how would you would resolve them. While there were some limitations because it was an online speech, it was also gave us the feeling that we were watching a TV interview. That was how I felt, that I was watching an interview on TV. Apart from you yourself, the interviewer also played her role very well. But I do have a few suggestions, obviously. I thought maybe a more vocal variety and hand gestures could have been used to a limited extent. There were, I mean, This was an interview, so it was a formal setting. So you had a limited area scope for using those, but there was scope for using those. And finally, to for the audience's interest, maybe the interviewer could have adopted a more aggressive tone and asked some disconcerting questions like how would you get yourself elected in the first place, or how would you handle the issue of uh, a lot of people in our society not educating their female members of the family, not allowing them to go to schools. How would you tackle those issues? That would have brought about greater interest maybe for the audience, and showed your persuasive skills also. Would have given you the opportunity to show your persuasive skills. With that, congratulations on doing this very difficult and challenging project. And I look forward to further speeches from you, hearing. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Najam. That is it for the evaluations of the prepared speeches. Timer, have all evaluators qualified for voting?
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Umayyad. Well, only TM Arusa has not qualified because her evaluation was for 1 minute and 41 seconds, which was below the time limit of 2 minutes. Thank you.
Okay, great. Now I request the vote counter to float the ballot. And in the meantime, let me introduce the table topics evaluator, who's a very seasoned Toastmaster. Toastmaster Imran Rana. It's over to you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Umar Hayat. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, a very good evening. Table topic speeches are a little different from prepared speeches, and it requires some skills and practices to ace in it. So let me give my feedback about today's table topic speeches. Our first speaker was Toastmaster Usman. Toastmaster Usman, you started with salutation. It was good. You tried to bring your personal story about your father. It was once again good, but unfortunately, due to nervousness took over you, and you were lost about your ideas. All I suggest you to please keep on coming, because we have observed your amazing speeches. So keep on coming and get your confidence back. Then our next speaker was guest Samita. She is not here. If you still want, I can give the feedback. Okay, we can skip her feedback. So, and then we have guest Hussain. I found the topic little odd for you, but I like the way you give some time, jot down your ideas, and delivered with good confidence. Your vocal variety was amazing. I can see a good, calm, and composed speaker in you. All you need is to keep on coming and keep delivering. One day you'll become a good and confident speaker. Then we have guest Farhana. You started with greetings, and you also repeated the topic to arrange your ideas. And then guest Farhana started off with confidence, with amazing vocal variety. I like the way you were using the stage, and your body language was perfectly aligned with your speech. all I suggest you to keep on coming, and keep on coming and keep practicing. I can see a very good speaker in you. And then we have Toastmaster Shuja Malik. Shuja Malik was our next speaker. Again, Shuja Malik repeated the topic and tries to get himself comfortable with the topic. I like your confidence and you brought humor about your wife. Just keep on coming and keep delivering speeches, since table topic speeches are different ball game and prepared speeches are different ball game. So I can see a very good speaker in you. And then Toastmaster Umar Hayat. Toastmaster Umar Hayat, you spoke quite well, you were very confident about the topic. I like the way you describe about the topic, but one improvement area I can suggest that if your body language was there, if you could have used your hand gestures to support your ideas, that will create a good impact on the speech. Finally, last but not least, guest Braham. If you are a Toastmaster, then it's perfectly fine. If you're not, then I suggest you to become the table topics Toastmaster, because I can see a very good confidence in you. I can see the way you, your body language, the way you uses your hand gestures throwing the colors, it was perfectly aligned, and I was quite amazed with your vocal variety. You were a complete package. Just keep on coming and keep delivering, and we will and just keep us amazed with your speeches. I'm sure I did not forget any of the speaker. With that, I would like to hand over the charge back to our general evaluator, Toastmaster Umar Hayat. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Imran. We will now quickly move towards the reports from facilitators. The first facilitator role is the grammarian, and we will get a report from Toastmaster Latif. It's over to you.
Thank you, General Evaluator, Toastmaster Umar Hayat. I am the master and the grammarian. So actually, I was not requested to give the word of the day in the beginning. So I think that was the failure, that most of the people were not able to use it. But yes, in the very beginning, Toastmaster of the day had used it. And after that, until who knew it, which is me, did that use. Another to the grammar, if you have heard each and every evaluator, they have said, you are a better speaker, you are a good speaker. So you have got to know that my grammar mistakes were not so critical, and I was not able to capture such big grammar issues. Yes, some nice sentences were there, like greedy bone, chilly speech, and city dweller, when people calls you only when you are dead. And those were very mesmerizing words. Whenever you are listening to a speech, it really makes you pride and pride of the grave. One small error which normally each and every one of us does, and I will not hold back to anything on this, but yes, if we can improve, I suggest, very commonly we use as, when are you going to give my book back? Or how are you going to come back? So instead of come back, or we can use only one thing, either come, or both of them you can remove and say, when are you going to return my book? When are you going to return home? It will make a little bit more easier. Other than that, yes, we all are self-learners. I recommend each and every person should listen to their speeches. They should love their voice. They should love each and every kind of evaluation have been given and try to improve by themselves. And Toastmaster is the wonderful channel we have to encourage and engage with each and everyone. Over to you, General Evaluator. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Latif. Our next report will be from the counter, that is Toastmaster Hiba.
Thank you, TM Umar. Okay, fellow Toastmasters and guests in the prepared speech session, TM Kashif Sehgal had 2 hours and a few repeated words: connected, day, passport, frantically. TM Muhammad Asghar, 2 hours. TM Ghulam Qadir, 1 repeated word: beggar. Dtm Tala bin Hamid, 1 hour and food is a repeated word. TM Anika Ali, 2 hours. TM Shamam Khan, educational reform was the repeated word. TM Karim Meghani, education. And in the table topic speeches, I could not exactly capture TM Osman's ahs and ums because I was doing the evaluation. TM Samita, 4 hours. TM Hussain, guest Samita, 4 hours. Guest Hussain, 3 hours. Guest Farhana, I guess 3 hours and 1 and TM Umar Hayat, 1 hour. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hiba. Our next role is that of listener, and the report will be delivered by Toastmaster Ali Asher. It's over to you.
Okay. I request you all to please unmute yourself. Okay. So, who uttered the hustling, bustling?
Dtm Tala.
And Dtm Tala and also Toastmaster of the day. Okay. So the second phrase is stupid, crazy things. Stupid, crazy things. Yes, it's Toastmaster Kashif Sehgal. Next is merely warn the offender. Merely warn the, yes, Toastmaster as well. Join hands together. Join hands together.
GQ. Toastmaster Ghulam Qadir.
Yes. Yes. A magical aroma.
In Hamid.
I just push it. I just push it.
Karim Meghani.
Yes. Anything for you.
Latif, yeah.
Next is art of improvisation. Art of improvisation.
Toastmaster Shamam.
Art of improvisation.
Mudassir Toastmaster.
Tabletop. Yes. I think that's all.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ali Asher. And now we will have the timers report from Toastmaster Zishan. I don't see him here. Oh, Toastmaster Zishan, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
Well, actually, the timer report has already been submitted activity-wise, and
Okay.
for the prepared speeches as well as the for the evaluation, and for the table topic master, uh, the all the participants were qualified except you.
Okay.
Mr. Omayat, you took 1 minute and 50 seconds, which was more than the 1 minute and 30 seconds for this activity. Thank you very much.
Okay. Sure. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. I think that's about it for the facilitators. And now it comes that time in the day where I give an evaluation of the entire meeting. So first of all, let me begin by saying it was a pleasure to be a part of such a historic meeting. And I think a lot of things in this meeting went really well. We started on time, and that's a big thing. I think we maybe altered in the way, like we took a bit longer in some sections, but overall the timing was maintained well. And considering that this meeting was taking place in so many different locations, overall it ran smoothly. And I commend the Toastmaster of the day and all of the facilitators for doing a great job. Um, I think the table topics master especially deserves congratulations for conducting a really exciting session that kept everyone engaged. And I think the evaluators also did a great job. There is a minor point I would like to point out to evaluators as a point of improvement in the next session, that whenever you are suggesting a point of improvement, you don't say like you did not do this or you did not do this or you did not do this. You always phrase it as a positive, like saying like you can improve on this or you can improve on that. And that, like, first of all makes evaluation a bit more gentle, and secondly it's likely to stick in the mind more. But that's a minor point. Overall, I think it was a great meeting, and all of you deserve congratulations for making it possible. I now hand over the charge back to the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Shahid.
Thank you very much, TM Omar Hayat, for excellent session on the general evaluation. We are really getting delayed in short of time. So it's now time for the conclusion remarks. And before conclusion remarks, I would request President of Karachi Toastmaster Club, Rusa Kawal, to have her views. TM Rusa Kawal, please.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shahid. I'll just need one question. Would you be concluding after this, or do I need to conclude after this?
Okay, so Okay, so we'll keep for a while. Let's have a guest comments and then the award, and then you can conclude.
All right.
Okay. Please.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Talabin Hamid, if you can please announce the awards, please.
I think वो तो आएंगे ना वो तो आपने होंगे अभी होंगे big four. Actually, the big four votes are being collected. So I would suggest that they will be valid to our president Toastmaster Rusa. So maybe you could announce Toastmaster Rusa just to streamline things. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So there was one of the guests, I believe, he is still there. So I'll seek his comments if he is around. I think he's left now. Okay, so TM Rosa, it's now over to you as a President Toastmaster Club Karachi for announcing the awards and for concluding remarks, please.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shahid. Dtm Tala, I'd like to ask if there are any guests present in the physical meeting.
Yes, there are few. So maybe
yes, I'd like their comments if they are willing to.
Any of you who would like to come here and comment about the meeting, please, and please also introduce. Please also introduce yourself. Thank you. The program.
Well, my name is Kamran Ahmed. I'm from the Gulf Institute. It was such a nice session with you people, and I was enjoying when I was listening to you people, and also on the Zoom, those who were delivering daily speeches. And really, I would suggest to my students as well as my facilitators and my friends that they must join that one session or these sort of sessions, especially with the Toastmaster, because we get a lot of knowledge, not only knowledge, we improve ourselves. And especially as you know, I was looking there or being observed that people movement and their hand gestures and their communication skills and lots of that skills can be got by them. So it was really nice discussion, and I would suggest to my all students as well as friends again that would come here and to get lots of things. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kamran. All right, so any other guest, Dtm Tala?
Any other guest who would like to give their comments? Please. Guest, your name is Hussain, right? Yes, Hussain? Please welcome. Yes.
As it was very first time for us to come here, the session was very fantastic, and especially the guests who were on the Zoom app. The speaker was the way they spoke, and the speaker who spoke here on the spot. So all the things were really good. I really love the way all the speakers delivered the speeches, and we noticed and we learned many things from them. So I would suggest to everyone to join this club and to join this sorts of session. It is really helpful. Thank you.
Thank you so much, guest Hussain. Are we having another one?
Yeah, just when we have a little guest, please come on the stage. And what did
oh, wow.
My name is Umesa.
Can you come to the laptop?
My name is Umesa, and it was a good session, and I love Toastmasters.
Thank you so much, Rumesa. That was a really lovely comment. Anyone else? Dtm Tala?
Yeah. We are done.
We are done? We are done.
Yeah.
All right. So with that, thank you everyone who attended. I would like to thank everyone from Peshawar for this lovely meeting. Although the theme of the meeting was reinvent, it looked like a highway of reinvention. We talked about politics. We talked about visiting US. We talked about the state bank. We talked about adopting children. We talked about interviews. What was there was no topic that we did not discuss, and we discussed in the most beautiful manner. And that is the beauty of Toastmasters. I thank everyone, Toastmaster Kashif, Toastmaster Shahid, and your whole team for this meeting with us. And Toastmaster Saad, are we done with the results?
Yes, we are.
Please let us know what the results are.
Okay. So the best prepared speaker was a tie, won by Toastmaster Latif Mansoor Ali.
Congratulations, Toastmaster Latif.
The best table topic speaker was by a very long way. Yes, Graham.
Congratulations.
The best prepared speech evaluator, again a tie. Toastmaster Hiba Reis Khan.
Oh, congratulations, Toastmaster Hiba.
The best big four. Toastmaster Imran Dana.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Saad. So now over to our Critics' Choice Awards. Our Critics' Choice Awards are basically awards judged by some senior Toastmasters. For the Critics' Choice Speaker Awards, we give our senior Toastmaster the International Speech Ballot, and they mark all the prepared speakers according to that ballot. So according to the results of that ballot, the speaker who stood the test of the international ballot, Dtm Talabin. His speech stood out. And our Critics' Choice Facilitator, whose facilitation really helped us. So any guesses?
Ali Ashar.
No, the timer.
Come on. How come? That's it. All right. So Toastmaster Latif again. Thank you so much. So with that, it's a wrap for today's meeting. Thank you everyone for attending. It was a lovely meeting and lovely experience. Two physical settings. Dtm Tala, yes. Do you have anything to add?
Thank you everyone. Thank you everyone from Peshawar. Your participation really made this meeting special. And Toastmaster Kashif, if you would like to say a few words at this time. Luckily,
yes, very quickly. Thank you so much. As I said in my earlier presidential address, I would like to thank Karachi for honestly being a great host. Yes, we could have been a little happier if we would have won one or two, but I'm sure by far you guys are a better club. So well done for that. And we will, inshallah, in the near future, hold more meetings with you. But remember, we'll come back stronger and harder. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much.
We're looking forward to that.
Looking forward to that, Toastmaster Kashif, certainly. And Usually we are not that biased in terms of voting. So I don't know what happened today, but
Next time we have to come in numbers.
But let me tell you, today's meeting took place in Karachi, in Islamabad, in Peshawar, in Madagascar, in Kuwait, and in Canada. So yeah, that's all the places where this meeting took place. So thank you all for coming to the meeting. And yes, definitely, inshallah, we'll keep doing this because it was wonderful having all of you. I must also appreciate the hosting done by Toastmaster of the day. I will not hold back. I voted for you, Toastmaster Shahid, because you brought the wonderful flavor of unity and you really, really worked on your Toastmaster of the day role and you added depth of flavor to the meeting. So again, wonderful jobs. Let me remind everyone that, votes are something else, but as long as you know that you've done your role well enough, I don't think they matter that much. So once again, CA Toastmasters Club Peshawar, it was wonderful having you, and we look forward to having you again and again.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Okay, so miraculously, the hotel management has not kicked us out yet. So before that happens, I think we will end the meeting, and everyone, everyone can quickly turn on their videos. Everyone, gather around. We need a photo, please, everyone. Come on. Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah. Be quick.
Toastmaster
And, everyone wear a mask to pretend that we observed the SOPs. Everyone, please turn on your video. Everyone.
Shamam.
Okay.
Toastmaster Shamam.
Just a second. Yeah.
Saad. Toastmaster Saad.
We need someone from Peshawar. Toastmaster Ishan Ali, please turn on your video. Yeah, that's nice. Please, everyone, I'm waiting.
Kashif, please switch on. Yes.
As soon as someone comes on the screen from Peshawar, Toastmaster Kashif, Toastmaster Shamam, Toastmaster Ishan, please turn on your videos.
Oh.
But the net is okay, net is messing up, but still okay. Fine.
I've done it.
We'll make do with what we have, and yes. Thank you so much once again, everyone.
How many pictures were there?
देखिए अभी जो है ना एक